All right, welcome everyone back to Age of Radio Mercury, your home for podcasting and other pop culture news. I have the amazing Stormi with me from Iced Nitro. I did not think that anybody would be able to do interviews today, but every single person that I asked was able to do an interview. And so because of that, we are squeezing in as many interviews as we can as possible. So I'm going to end the show here at Foundry Fest today with Stormi and talking about her company, Iced Nitro. So I'm super excited to be here. How are you, and how has the event been for you today?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Yeah.
The event's been really good. We did this one last year, and the folks who run it are always really kind to us, and they're super cool. We follow each other on Instagram. I love the fact that we're able to have like a community based around like everybody who wants to come out and share their art. And I think that's kind of what this smaller event is all about.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you do the bigger one in February? I guess it'll be next year, the AZ Comic Books Art Festival, the bigger one that they do as well?
I haven't done that one yet.
Yeah.
No, like I do a lot of the bigger events in Phoenix. So I do like Phoenix Comic Con,
Okay.
and then I do Tucson, and then
Oh, were you at Tucson this year?
Yeah.
Oh, did you
yeah.
happen to see? We were in. Do you know the part that had the turtle bus? Okay, so we were back in that far corner.
Yeah.
I don't know if you had a chance to see us. We did
man.
we had our booth, and then we had Joey's booth. We did a bunch of cosplay. We interviewed Brian Polito, the founder or one of the owners of Tucson Comic Con as well. So it was a blast. But so did you have fun at Tucson Comic Con as well?
Yes, it's always a really good con. We love it. We do it every year. It's one of our regular cons,
Yeah.
and we drive out there. We make it a whole little like staycation type thing.
Yeah.
But now that you say that you're at that con, every time I go to a big con, I'm going to look for you.
Yeah, absolutely. The only con, so we have been very blessed these last couple of this last year since we started doing this. We've only been doing this it'll be a full year actually now. Next week will be our full year of doing these live events. And so we started off at UwuCon. UwuCon is again next year. And so we're going to be actually doing a lot of the cosplay segments because Jinx and Thermo, who do a show called Cos Talk Live, they're in charge of the cosplay portion of UwuCon. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to do some interviews and things like we're doing right now. And so we've been blessed because Game On has now invited us for the most part. Like the owner and me kind of started talking. He's like, I couldn't get a booth last time. He's like, no, we'll make sure that we can get you a booth this time. And then oddly enough, the Phoenix Zoo was at the Tucson Comic Con. They saw us, and then they invited us to do a 4-hour live stream from the zoo talking to creators for their comic conservations thing, and it's all just because I just come around and talk to people on here. So it's really
cool.
yeah, and so I'm really happy about being a part of the communities and talking with people, and that's why I have you here to talk to you about what you're doing. So you are an artist. You own Iced Nitro, and you have a beautiful booth over here. I showed it at the beginning of the show, but the sound was all messed up, so I don't know if people heard me talking about it enough, but it looks like a little storefront.
Yeah,
is what I can kind of see from it. But you sell your own art and prints that you make. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit let's start there, a little bit about that journey. Are you from Arizona? Did you go to school for art? What does that look like, and how did you get into doing Iced Nitro?
First of all, it all started when I was born.
Okay.
I came out of the womb, and they were like, "What the heck is she holding?" And then the doctor's like, "Oh my God, I think that might be a vegetable." And
Yeah. That's
and I'm like, damn right it is. And I just kind of, from there, I never stopped trying. But in all seriousness, though, I did go to school for animation.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It was unfortunately around the time that COVID happened, and you know how that goes. So like, I went to school for about 4 years, and right before I was about to graduate, my school shut down. Shut down.
Was it here in Arizona?
It
or
was.
Was it, okay.
It was a little place in Peoria called Huntington University.
Oh yeah, I know Huntington.
Yeah. It's a private art school, and I just on the cusp of graduating, they were like, "Hey, we're gonna take a pause, reasonably." And I was like, okay. And, I love animation. I love it. I'm a 2D artist, though. Like, I've never really gotten into the 3D stuff. I have a lot of respect for it. I'm just not, that's not where I wanted to go. I was always fascinated with, like, the 2D aspect
So do you do that now as a career?
Yeah,
Or okay.
so what happened was I was at a crossroads and I said, well, I can go back to college when they reopen, or I could, keep going with like doing commissions and
Yeah.
stuff. And so I made the split off to become an illustrator.
Okay.
And during COVID, all I did was really survive off of like, commissions and illustration work and freelance work, because a lot of, places were shutting down. I had lost my job at the time, and I'd been like bartending and serving my whole life. So I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to make this work. And it did. It miraculously somehow worked.
Yeah.
And then after COVID let up, I started traveling to conventions, and traveling's a strong word. Like, we started out local, and then...
It's okay. I say traveling too, and I just mean here and then to Tucson.
Literally anywhere. Yeah, like Tucson feels like traveling.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I started getting serious about that a couple years later. I've definitely been on and off the art journey, just because, life happens. But
Yeah.
I've decided, as of like April, I want to say, I quit permanently serving to become a
Nice.
full-time illustrator and do this.
Yeah, so let's see some of these illustrations.
Yeah,
So tell
yeah.
me, again, these are prints. Is that what you would call these?
They are,
I'm not
yeah.
that adverse with culture and art, apparently.
Me neither.
Okay, so this is the Lovers, and that's, I'm assuming, taken from maybe a tarot card
Yes,
concept
yes.
here. The Lovers here.
I really, so I didn't exactly join the horror community until very, very recently, and actually that's kind of a funny story.
Yeah.
Because I got my start in like D&D and
Oh, wow,
illustration. Yeah,
okay.
but this is not D&D.
Right, I was like, this is your next D&D
Yeah,
campaign.
exactly. You
Right
gotta
here.
base it around that.
Yeah, we're gonna base. This is who you have to save. I don't know how we would do that. Okay.
But yeah, so I do, so these are like, so this is called my Love Thirsty series. This is a take on like Bloodthirsty but Love Thirsty,
Yep.
They
Yep.
just need a little bit of love. It's fine. Like, people thirst after killers all the time. It's totally normal.
Yeah.
But speaking of, illustration and like where I started, I started with like D&D and fantasy.
Yeah.
And I've never really thought about joining the horror community. I just did a lot of fantasy stuff, and then
So then what happened? Did you just get into, like, you were sitting down one day and
So-
someone was like, let's watch a bunch of horror movies, and you were like, I love horror movies now. I'm going to make tons of prints about horror movies.
Yeah, I wish I could say that was it. My boyfriend, I met my boyfriend.
And is he the gentleman that's doing all the work?
Yeah.
Okay, so just so you know, if you can't see, because we turned the con cam off, her boyfriend is doing all of the work while she sits over here and talks to me. So he's taking down the booth, putting everything away.
It's the usual.
Yeah, which is
He's
how it
fine.
should be. Yeah, just like
Yeah.
Joey's table's already also put away, and mine's not even started. But continue.
But he, I met my boyfriend, and he started like helping me with cons, and he was like, kind of teaching me about marketing and setting up and
Yeah.
everything. And then he was like, yo, why don't you do Mad Monster Party? And if you don't know Mad Monster Party, it's an amazing horror con in Arizona. It's in Glendale. It's like 3 days long. It's amazing. But I was like, I don't know what the heck I'm gonna draw from it. Like, are you kidding me? I have all these like D&D like elven things and stuff going on.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, what would I want to do if I did horror? Like,
Yeah.
I don't have an inkling of an idea. And I was like, you know what?
Yeah. Okay, so then you started. Now you have all these prints. Because I'm looking over here
Yeah,
too. You
yeah.
have like I forgot his name from. You have the clown from the Stephen King. Like,
Yes,
what's his name? Pennywise.
yeah, Pennywise.
Pennywise. You have Jason. You have the Scream character Freddy. Yeah. You also have R2D2.
I
so
do
that's good.
mix of a lot of things.
So then
A
I
lot of
guess
fandoms.
so. Like, do you create your own other characters then for prints that you put on them, and then create like, even though they're prints, create stories with them as you make more prints, or how does that work for your own creation?
So it's so difficult now because I love doing cons and everything, and there is this like constant battle between, just among the art community. Should I bring fan art or should I do something original?
Yeah,
And a lot
Austin actually brought that up earlier in one of the
Yeah.
conversations because he has a bunch of fan art, and people are some people give him, maybe not him specifically, but some people can give people a hard time about just doing fan art.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's like, it's really confusing because if you talk to somebody who's been doing cons for a while, you'll hear so many different things, and someone can say, hey, it's a common thing. They're like, don't bring fan art or don't bring original art versus fan art because you're not going to
Yeah.
sell anything. Like, people want to see their
Stuff that
fandoms
they
and
see,
stuff.
all the stuff that they know and love and whatever.
And it's so tricky because I love fan art, and because I went to animation school, the drive behind my art is storytelling. I
Yeah.
want to tell stories. I want to connect with people. Unfortunately, because of cons and because like there's that constant battle,
Yeah.
I kind of put that like on the back burner. Like I usually post stuff on my Instagram that's more personal to me,
Yeah.
and I'll usually bring, you know, some original prints, but you know, mostly like fan art if I'm doing a horror con.
Of course.
But yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for sharing that. So, a couple of things. I know that we don't have as long as time to do the interview
For
because
sure.
everybody's. I don't know what time they're going to start
Yeah.
kicking us out. But I do want to talk to you about. You had mentioned. Prior to this, I was asking you about topics that were maybe like more in depth that we could go into, and you mentioned something about AI, and that's a topic that we talk a lot about on this. We talk about it ridiculously more than we probably should.
Well,
Like
you're talking to artists.
Well, I'm talking to artists, but then also on our mainstream, we even like cover a lot of AI stuff because I
Oh.
use a lot of AI. But then I'm
Okay.
also I think in certain instances it's good. I think in from a generative perspective of it creating the art, OpenAI just released Sora.
Yes.
Okay, this year, and then recently, just a couple weeks ago, and Meta launched Vibes,
Yes.
and it's just generative AI, right? Which is just art, right? Like, I mean, to some perspective, I mean, it's different from someone creating that art, but someone's prompting it and then it's creating it. So I'm
Sure.
curious from your perspective, and also coming from animation as well. Like, what is your take on artificial intelligence and how it relates in the art world, especially from these prints? Because I could go on. It would have no personality whatsoever. Like yours are beautiful. It has a touch of you in it. I could go on and make a bunch of prompts, create something, print that bad boy out, and then go and sell it. So I'm just curious
Right.
what your thoughts are on this.
Okay, I know we don't have a lot of time, so it's a lot to unpack, but
Yeah,
I think
let's go
like
on. But do your best.
all in all, as an artist and living in this day and age, it's so terrifying. Like, on complete honesty, it's so terrifying because, like, Sora, you said was just released, and you're seeing like all of this crazy, like. Like levels of production of animation that looks it looks so real. It looks like it was created by an
Yeah.
actual company.
Yeah.
And I think AI personally, and I'm very biased because I'm a creator, right?
Yeah.
I think AI belongs in like fields that we actually need it. Like we don't want to take creativity away from people because that's like, I mean, that's what people live for.
Yeah.
So I want AI to like give me recipes and do my laundry and do my taxes. Like I don't
Yeah,
want
that's what I
AI
want
to
to
like
So I agree.
Right?
Yeah.
And so like it's also terrifying because if you look at the con world, you get so many people who can easily sell like AI as their own art, and it's getting so much harder to differentiate between like what somebody actually drew and what you're emulating. And then there's that controversy to even just consider that most AI art is like it's stolen from different
Other
artists.
people.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
essentially,
Like
yeah.
AI needs to train off of something, right?
Yeah, which I find, I think, and a lot of people may not know this. I didn't know this until recently, but I think Adobe, they have their Adobe Firefly product that is their generative AI.
Yeah.
But from my understanding, everything that's going into making that content, they went out and got the IP from the actual artists and from the creators, and then
Yes.
introduced it into the generative AI so that they didn't run into that problem.
Definitely the right
not
way of
not only
doing
from a
it.
business perspective, but also from giving a crap about humans that are creating
Yeah.
stuff in the world, rather than stealing all of their stuff.
It's wild. Like I don't know if you heard, but DC recently stated
Yep.
publicly, that they would no longer, or not even no longer, like they would just refuse to do any like
Correct.
AI stuff.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
So do you think that that's going? Do you think that I asked Joey this earlier. Do you think that at some point in time, like AI will just become more advanced and it will start taking more jobs from creators, or do you think that there will always be like the human element that will overcome that aspect because the fact that your personality and you are in these drawings or in these art pieces?
I think about that like every day of my life.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like what came first, right? The chicken or the egg?
Yeah.
So, like, AI needs to train off of something. So, if you build this AI bubble, which we're in right now,
Okay.
and you think, well, okay, artists are not going to be needed anymore, AI is going to start eating itself.
Yeah.
Because we're not going to have artists to continue training it. And I don't know what's going to happen in the future. Like,
Yeah.
it could just get that scary. But I think there is something special about human-made art. And it could either up the value of human-made art
Yeah.
or will be forgotten altogether. And I'm just kind of holding on and taking it wave by wave and hoping, that people
Yeah.
still
I
appreciate
mean,
human made.
even here down at the foundry, like we're surrounded by art pieces on the wall, that you look at it and you can get a sense. Like if I'm looking, there's a picture of David Bowie over here. I think that's Dave, yeah, it's David Bowie. And then when I'm looking at that, like there is a sense of emotion that comes from me sitting and maybe looking at that, or a feeling or an expression that I don't think that's going to exist if we just create the generative AI and then print it out and stick it on a print.
Right.
I think we lose that.
Absolutely.
And going back to your prints, just how beautiful they are, and you're in every single piece of them. And so to kind of move away from that, because again, with time, what
Sure.
other types of things? Because I want to make sure that you get highlighted on the stuff that you do.
Oh.
What are the other things that people can buy besides prints? Because I think you had tote bags too, or those yours as well? Like if
so-
people go to your go to the Iced Nitro site, or go to this QR code and click it and go and look at all of your stuff. What other types of stuff can they find your prints on?
So I really do specialize in like acrylic standees.
Okay.
I do sell a lot of those. Those are one of, I think, my favorite
Yeah.
things to make. I do sell tote bags, keychains.
Nice.
But because I am a character artist by trade, I do specialize in like, things that will live on your desk and, and live on your
Yeah,
bookshelf.
That's
so
awesome. So
yeah.
you have all of that available for people online as well?
I do.
Well, that's cool. So what is the next con that you're going to be at? Because it sounds like you go to a lot of cons.
I do.
Well, it
yeah.
sounded like, I don't know if you
Yeah,
actually
no,
do, but
I
like,
do. It's definitely become a full-time thing, which is really awesome. Like, I'm really privileged,
Yeah.
100%. But we will be doing a very small, intimate event at Brick Road Coffee on the 25th.
Okay, that's
It's going to be
awesome.
a Halloween event, and then we're going to be going to Konnichiwa in Tucson, and that's in November.
nice.
So.
Will you, I know you might not have a booth at UwuCon, but will you be attending UwuCon at all next week, just personally?
I
And
want
if you're not, that's okay. I'm just asking.
No. I want to get into that con so bad. Like, it's such a cool con, and like
Yeah.
it's so big, and
Yeah.
so I might actually just go because I want to like see what it's like. I have so many friends that attend it every year, so
Yeah.
you might find me there.
It's really fun. Well, that'll be awesome. Is there any final thoughts that you want to add to anybody that's watching now or into the future?
Honestly, like, stay creative.
Yeah.
Like, stay creative. This is so important. Art is
Yeah.
so important. It always will be, and I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah, that's actually great. So we've had Be Excellent today, we've had Be Cool, and then yours is Stay Creative.
Yeah.
So I think that's a great way to end this. So stay creative. This is Stormi from Iced Nitro. Make sure that you hit up that QR code, go to social media, look at Iced Nitro to check out all of the amazing art that they are doing. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Foundry Fest is over. It went by like that. It's already 4 o'clock. Actually, it's at past 4. It's 4:20. We will be live again next week at UwuCon, the 17th, 18th, and 19th. I believe, and we're going to be doing a lot of great stuff there, a lot of segments that are away from the table, away from interviews, capturing all the amazing stuff that's happening at UwuCon. But again, this was Arizona Comics, Books, Arts Festival, Foundry Fest down at the Foundry Hotel in Phoenix, Arizona. Make sure that you go to azcomicfest.com and get the badges for Arizona Comic Book Arts Festival, which is going to be February 28th in Phoenix, Arizona at the Shrine Auditorium, which I think it's either on the Phoenix or on the cusp of Phoenix and Mesa. I don't know exactly remember where it's at, but it's at the Shrine Auditorium. I remember that. And will you be at, you don't know if you're going to be at that one because you mainly come to this one, yes?
Yeah. I definitely, if I'm not there as a vendor, I'll be there as a guest for sure.
All right, well, we will see you around. Again, my name's Jeremy. This is Mercury, your home for podcasting and other pop culture and news. And this has been our live event and concludes our live event with the amazing Stormi at Foundry Fest. And as I always say, be thankful, grateful, and kind. And we'll talk with you guys soon. Bye.